Hey, did you know there's a gesture so simple, so basic, that it can literally make a woman melt on the inside in just a matter of seconds? The best part? You don't need to be the best looking guy. You don't need money. You don't need clever lines or cheap seduction tricks. It's something much deeper, much more authentic, and surprisingly underused by most men. Today, I'm going to reveal exactly what that gesture is, why it works so incredibly well from both a scientific and emotional perspective, how to recognize when she's responding to it, and most importantly, how to do it naturally without it feeling staged or forced. We're going to explore the neuroscience, the evolutionary biology, the practical applications, and the real world scenarios where this becomes absolutely transformative. But before we dive in, if you're enjoying the video so far, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel while turning on the bell so you never miss any of this content that helps you level up in your relationships. This isn't just about dating advice. This is about becoming the kind of man who naturally attracts the right connections, builds genuine intimacy, and creates lasting bonds based on authenticity rather than performance. Comment challenge. Where are you watching from? Engagement question. Tell me in the comments which country and city are you watching this video from? And also let me know, do you really believe a single gesture can spark something so powerful in a woman? I'd love to read your opinion. It really helps build this community and allows me to create content that speaks directly to what you're experiencing in your own life. Your feedback shapes the direction of this channel, so don't hold back. Share your thoughts, your experiences, your questions, and even your skepticism. Look, the vast majority of men, when they want to connect with a woman, think they need to impress her with brilliant words, achievements, witty jokes, status demonstrations. They believe that connection is built through external displays of value, through proving themselves worthy, through demonstrating all the reasons why she should be interested. They craft the perfect opening line. They rehearse stories that make them look adventurous, successful, or interesting. They try to showcase their accomplishments, their ambitions, their social status, but the reality is completely different. Here's what most men don't understand about how women actually experience attraction and connection. A woman's body reacts way before her mind does. We're talking milliseconds. Her nervous system has been wired through thousands of years of evolution to detect intentions, energies, and emotions almost instantly. This isn't some mystical concept or New Age philosophy. This is hard science backed by decades of research in evolutionary psychology, neuroscience, and behavioral biology. That's why a woman can meet someone and within seconds already have a clear feeling. I feel safe. He gives me trust. There's something here. Or the complete opposite. She might meet a guy who says all the right things, who looks good on paper, who checks all the logical boxes, and yet something in her gut tells her to keep her distance. She can't always explain it logically, but she feels it. She might tell her friends, I don't know, there's just something off about him. Or conversely, I can't explain it, but I just feel really comfortable around him. That ability isn't magic, it's biology. And this is exactly where the gesture I want to talk about today comes in. It taps directly into this primal subconscious assessment system that women have evolved to keep themselves safe, to identify trustworthy partners, and to recognize genuine masculine presence when they encounter I. When a woman encounters a man who genuinely embodies these qualities, something fascinating happens at the biological level. Evolutionary truth, emotional switch flips that she can't consciously control. Her natural defenses drop. What I call an emotional opening is created. This isn't something she decides to do. It's not a conscious choice. It's an automatic physiological response that happens when her nervous system determines that you represent safety, authenticity, and non threatening masculine energy. And the most powerful part, her body will betray her. She can't hide it. Even if she wanted to maintain her composure, even if she's trying to play it cool, her body will reveal the truth. Her pupils dilate, her breathing changes, her posture softens, micro expressions flash across her face. These are involuntary responses controlled by the autonomic nervous system, the part of her biology that operates completely outside of conscious awareness. This is why learning to create this effect isn't about manipulation. It's about becoming the kind of man who naturally triggers these responses because you genuinely embody the qualities that represent safety, presence, and authentic masculine energy. The melting gesture. The three key elements. Revealed. This gesture isn't just one thing. It's the precise combination of three elements that, when executed well, create a massive impact. Think of it like a combination lock. Each element on its own has some effect, but when all three align perfectly, that's when the door opens. That's when you see her entire demeanor shift. That's when the melting happens. Element 1. The slow and deliberate approach. I'm not talking about moving like a turtle. I mean approaching her with purpose, but without rushing. You give her nervous system time to process your presence and get comfortable with your energy. In our modern world, everything moves fast. Conversations are rushed, interactions are hurried, people are constantly in a state of urgency, checking their phones, thinking about the next thing, never fully present in the current moment. When you slow down, when you move with intention but without haste, you immediately stand out. What does this communicate on a subconscious level? Self-control. A man who doesn't rush in a romantically charged moment is a man who controls himself. He's not driven by impulse or desperation. He's not anxious to get to the outcome. He's comfortable in the process, in the journey, in the moment itself. Clear intention, but not impulsive. There's a huge difference between a man who knows what he wants and moves toward it with confidence versus a man who is impulsively grabbing for something out of neediness or scarcity. Women can instantly detect this difference. The slow approach communicates that you're interested, you're present, you're engaged, but you're not needy, desperate, or outcome dependent. Respect for her emotional space and processing time. When you rush, you don't give her nervous system time to adjust, to calibrate, to feel safe. When you slow down, you demonstrate that you understand how human connection actually works. You're not trying to force anything. You're creating space for something genuine to emerge. When a woman encounters a man who genuinely embodies these qualities, something fascinating happens at the biological level. Evolutionary truth, emotional switch flips that she can't consciously control. Her natural defenses drop. What I call an emotional opening is created. This isn't something she decides to do. It's not a conscious choice. It's an automatic physiological response that happens when her nervous system determines that you represent safety, authenticity, and non-threatening masculine energy. And the most powerful part, her body will betray her. She can't hide it. Even if she wanted to maintain her composure, even if she's trying to play it cool, her body will reveal the truth. Her pupils dilate, her breathing changes, her posture softens, micro-expressions flash across her face. These are involuntary responses controlled by the autonomic nervous system, the part of her biology that operates completely outside of conscious awareness. This is why learning to create this effect isn't about manipulation. It's about becoming the kind of man who naturally triggers these responses because you genuinely embody the qualities that represent safety, presence, and authentic masculine energy. The melting gesture. The three key elements revealed. This gesture isn't just one thing. It's the precise combination of three elements that, when executed well, create a massive impact. Think of it like a combination lock. Each element on its own has some effect, but when all three align perfectly, that's when the door opens. That's when you see her entire demeanor shift. That's when the melting happens. Element 1. The slow and deliberate approach. I'm not talking about moving like a turtle. I mean approaching her with purpose, but without rushing. You give her nervous system time to process your presence and get comfortable with your energy. In our modern world, everything moves fast. Conversations are rushed, interactions are hurried. People are constantly in a state of urgency, checking their phones, thinking about the next thing, never fully present in the current moment. When you slow down, when you move with intention but without haste, you immediately stand out. What does this communicate on a subconscious level? Self-control. A man who doesn't rush in a romantically charged moment is a man who controls himself. He's not driven by impulse or desperation. He's not anxious to get to the outcome. He's comfortable in the process, in the journey, in the moment itself. Clear intention, but not impulsive. There's a huge difference between a man who knows what he wants and moves toward it with confidence versus a man who is impulsively grabbing for something out of neediness or scarcity. Women can instantly detect this difference. The slow approach communicates that you're interested, You're present, you're engaged, but you're not needy, desperate, or outcome dependent. Respect for her emotional space and processing time. When you rush, you don't give her nervous system time to adjust, to calibrate, to feel safe. When you slow down, you demonstrate that you understand how human connection actually works. You're not trying to force anything. You're creating space for something genuine to emerge. Element 2, the firm yet soft gaze, the most delicate element. This is the most delicate element because you have to find the perfect balance. It's not an intense predator stare that makes her uncomfortable, that triggers her fight or flight response, that makes her feel like prey being hunted. It's not a shy or avoidant look that communicates insecurity, uncertainty, or lack of genuine interest. It's a gaze that says, I'm here with you in this moment, and I don't need anything from you. The difference between a melting gaze and an uncomfortable one lies in the intention. This is absolutely critical to understand. The same physical action, holding eye contact, can create completely opposite responses depending on what's driving it. If you look for validation, approval, or a reaction, she senses it and closes off. If your eyes are scanning her face looking for signs that she likes you, searching for approval, needing to see that you're having an effect, she picks up on that energy immediately and it creates the opposite of attraction. It creates discomfort. If you look to share the moment, to truly be present, the response is completely different. When your gaze comes from a place of simply being here now, enjoying this moment of human connection, appreciating her presence without needing anything from her, that's when the magic happens. That's when she feels seen, valued, and safe all at the same time. The power of firm but soft, present eye contact cannot be overstated. Firmness communicates confidence and grounded masculine presence. Softness communicates safety and emotional availability. The combination is irresistible because it's so rare. Most men either stare too intensely or avoid eye contact altogether. The middle path, the balanced approach, is where the power lives. Element 3, the secure silence, the most powerful element. This is where most men fall apart. As soon as a second of silence appears, they get nervous and start talking nonstop to break the tension. They fill the space with words, with jokes, with questions, with anything to avoid that moment of quiet connection. But well-handled silence is magnetic. It's not awkward or empty silence. It's silence full of presence, confidence, and connection. You're saying without words, I don't need to fill this space with noise because I'm comfortable with myself and I'm comfortable with you. This level of comfort with silence is incredibly rare and incredibly attractive. Think about it. How often do you encounter someone who can just be with you, fully present, without needing to fill every second with words? Most people are so uncomfortable with silence that they treat it like an emergency that needs to be resolved immediately. But comfortable silence is magnetic. Most men panic here, and that panic is palpable. It breaks the spell. It destroys the connection. When you can maintain that silence, when you can be comfortable in that space of pure presence, you're communicating something profound. This man is safe, mature. He's not afraid of intimacy. I can let my guard down. You're showing her that you're comfortable with deeper levels of connection, that you don't need constant stimulation or validation, that you're grounded enough in yourself to simply exist alongside another person without needing to perform or prove anything. Let me break down exactly what's happening in her brain and body when you combine these three elements. When you combine these three elements, the slow approach activates her parasympathetic nervous system. This is the branch of the autonomic nervous system responsible for relaxation, connection, safety, and the rest and digest response. If you move too fast, you trigger her sympathetic system, alert mode, fight or flight, which immediately creates barriers to connection. The soft, present gaze releases oxytocin, the hormone of bonding and trust. Oxytocin is often called the love hormone or the cuddle hormone, and it's released during moments of genuine connection, trust, and intimacy. When you maintain that soft, present eye contact, you're literally triggering a chemical release in her brain that makes her feel bonded to you, that makes her want to be closer to you, that creates feelings of warmth and trust. Secure silence creates positive vulnerability. She has space to feel what's happening without interruptions. In that silence, Without the distraction of constant conversation, she can actually tune into her own feelings. She can notice the attraction. She can feel the connection building. She can experience the moment rather than just thinking about it. Her subconscious mind starts processing all of this information. This man is safe, mature, confident, grounded, present, non-threatening, yet masculine, interested, but not needy. All of these assessments are happening below the level of conscious awareness, processed by the ancient parts of her brain that have evolved specifically to make these determinations about potential partners. Clear signs that it's working, you can't fake these. When the gesture is having an effect, her body responds involuntarily. Learn to recognize them because these signals tell you everything you need to know about whether the connection is real or not. A slight smile that appears for no reason. Not the polite smile she gives everyone. It's an internal, pleasurable one, a smile that comes from genuine positive emotion, from feeling good in your presence. It often appears and disappears quickly, almost like she's trying to hide it but can't quite manage to. She holds eye contact longer than usual, with softer, more receptive eyes. Instead of breaking eye contact after a second or two, which is the social norm with strangers or acquaintances, she lingers. Her eyes soften. The usual guardedness or social mask drops, and you can see genuine openness in her gaze. Unconscious touches. She touches her hair, lips, or neck. These are self-soothing behaviors that come from attraction plus positive nerves. When a woman feels attracted to you, it creates a pleasant kind of nervous energy, and these unconscious touches are her body's way of managing that energy. Preening behaviors like playing with hair or adjusting clothing are also signs that she's unconsciously trying to look good for you. Her body moves closer without her deciding. She leans her torso toward you, takes a step in your direction, removes physical barriers like bags or crossed arms. This is proximity-seeking behavior, driven by her nervous system's assessment that you're safe and that closeness feels good. She might not even realize she's doing it. Her voice softens, becomes more melodic and warm. When a woman feels attraction and connection, her voice naturally changes. It becomes softer, more musical, more feminine. This is an involuntary response driven by hormones and emotional state. Body orientation, feet and torso pointing toward you. This is one of the most reliable indicators of genuine interest. Even if she's standing at an angle or looking elsewhere, if her feet and torso are pointed toward you, her body is revealing where her interest lies. Open posture, arms uncrossed, body relaxed, stance wide rather than closed. Open body language indicates comfort, safety, and receptiveness. When someone feels threatened or uncomfortable, they unconsciously close their body. When they feel safe and connected, they open up. What happens in her body at the chemical and neurological level is fascinating. Oxytocin levels rise, creating feelings of bonding and trust. Her breathing becomes synchronized with yours, a phenomenon called limbic resonance that happens when two nervous systems are in harmony. These involuntary signs are almost impossible to fake. They're real physiological responses driven by ancient biological systems that operate far below conscious control. The number one key: don't turn it into a performance. If you do it thinking, now I'm going to apply the gesture so she falls for me, it loses all its power. Women can spot manipulation from a mile away. They have highly developed systems for detecting incongruence, for noticing when someone's words don't match their energy, when their actions don't align with their intentions. So, how do you make it authentic? How do you embody these principles without it becoming a technique or a manipulation? Start from a place of genuine presence. Don't do it to get something. Do it because you're truly enjoying the moment with her. The shift here is subtle but profound. Instead of thinking, how do I make her attracted to me? Think, how can I fully experience and enjoy this moment of human connection? The energy is completely different, and she'll feel that difference immediately. Move calmly the way you would at home when you're completely relaxed. Your movements when you're alone and completely comfortable are naturally smooth, unhurried, and grounded. Bring that same quality of movement into your interactions. Don't speed up because you're nervous or because you think you should be doing something. Look without seeking approval. Don't scan her face to see if it's working. That breaks the energy. The moment you start monitoring for results, you're no longer present. You're in your head, calculating, strategizing, performing. True presence means you're here in this moment, not analyzing outcomes or looking for validation. Embrace the silence. Learn to be comfortable in the pause. The more comfortable you are with silence, the more powerful the moment becomes. Practice this in your daily life. Sit with silence. Meditate. Spend time alone without constant stimulation. Build your capacity to be comfortable with stillness, and that comfort will naturally extend into your interactions with others. How to do it naturally comes down to this: no tricks, just authentic presence. You can't fake this. You can't perform it. You have to genuinely become the kind of man who is comfortable in his own skin, who doesn't need external validation, who can be fully present without agenda. Final conclusion and reflection: real masculinity and lasting connection. This gesture that melts a woman isn't a seduction trick. It's not a manipulative technique designed to get her to do something she wouldn't otherwise do. It's simply the natural expression of a man who is comfortable in his own skin, doesn't need external validation, can offer presence and security without asking for anything in return, knows how to create intimacy without invading. When you develop that quality of presence, it doesn't just change your interactions with women, it changes your entire life. You become more effective in business because you're truly present in negotiations and meetings. Your friendships deepen because you can offer real presence and connection. Your relationship with yourself improves because you're no longer constantly seeking external validation to feel okay. This is about so much more than just attracting women. This is about becoming a fully realized human being who can connect authentically, who can be present with whatever life brings, who can offer something real to the people around you. So, the next time you're with a woman you're interested in, remember it's not about conquering. It's about offering a safe space where she can be vulnerable, where genuine connection can emerge, where two human beings can experience a moment of real presence together. Want to go deeper into these topics? Drop a comment below saying, "I master this gesture." If you commit to practicing it with authenticity, and tell me which of the three elements, slow approach, soft gaze, or secure silence, do you find the hardest to apply? I'd love to read you and help you out. Let's build a dialogue. Let's create a community where we can share our experiences, our challenges, our breakthroughs. If this video helped you, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell so you get more content like this. We're building a community of men who want to improve from authenticity, not manipulation. We're creating a space where real transformation happens, where surface-level pickup tactics are replaced with genuine personal development, where becoming a better man is the goal rather than just collecting phone numbers. Final reflection on real masculinity and lasting connection. The world needs more men who understand that true strength isn't about domination or performance, it's about presence. True masculine power isn't about controlling others, it's about mastering yourself. And genuine connection doesn't come from tricks or techniques, it comes from showing up as your authentic self and creating space for others to do the same. Thanks for being here. See you in the next video. Big hug. Take care. Take.